Good day, everyone. So we want to start a beaded bag, and then the materials we need include your beads, 0.5 mm fishing line, a pair of scissors, and your picker. So let's begin. We start with the usual. Call your fishing line. Call your fishing line. We've done that. Then you take 4 beads. It is on any side of your fishing line. Interlock the 4th bead. Okay. We've done number 1. You take 2 beads, each bead on each fishing line, so it's going to look like this. Then the 3rd bead, so we've done number 2. So we are going to do this again to create number 3. One bead on each side of the fish line, then the 3rd bead you interlock it. So we've done this 3 times. So you're going to keep doing this till we get to your desired length. I want to do 22. So this is 3, means 19. But the 19th one, the 22nd one, is going to be different. So we're going to do 21 for now. You can use any desired length of your choice. Just make sure that it is an even number. So we've done 21, and we want to do the 22nd side, which is slightly different. So on any of the fishing line, it could be the left, it could be the right, you add all 3 beads, then you interlock the 3rd bead. So pull it down, and then we have this. So now I'm going to introduce the reduction method. It's a situation whereby you'll be reducing the first end of your mat till you finish it, like that. So now we are going to ignore these first 2 for this stage. So the fishing line needs to go to the 2nd bead over here. So how do we do that? Let's start with the right fishing line, this one over here. So pass the fishing line to the next bead, like that, 1. Then pass to the next bead, 2. Then again, 3. And we have gotten to our destination, which is this one here, 4. So we've done that for this side. Let's do it for this side now. So 1, 2, 3, and we have gotten to our destination, which is here, 4. So we've done that. Now we continue by taking 3 beads and putting all 3 on the left fishing line. If we name our fishing line, this one on my right hand is my right, the one on my left is my left. So all 3 beads will go to the left fishing line. Then the 3rd one, you interlock, like that. So right fishing line will go to the next bead, like that. So we'll continue. 2 beads instead now. interlock the second bead, where fishing line will go to the next bead. One more time, 2 beads, interlock the second bead, where fishing line will go to the next bead. So I'm going to do the rest off camera. Now we are on the second to the last bead, so you just pass it. So now it's going to be different from the normal way. You're going to put 2 beads on the right instead of on the left. Then you interlock the second bead like this. So we are finished doing the second 9. So we want to start a new row. So we are starting from the right fishing line. Remember, we are doing the reduction method. So this one, we are going to ignore it and we're going to come here. I'm going to turn the mat around now that I'm done. So I'm turning it over like this. We continue with 3 beads, all 3 on the left, interlock the third, pass the right fishing line to the next bead. So all 3 on the left, interlock the third, pass the right fishing line to the next bead. So 2 beads, both on the left, interlock the second, right fishing line will go to the next bead. Okay, 2 beads, both on the left, interlock the second, right fishing line will go to the next bead. So as usual, we're going to keep doing this to get the second to the last bead. So until we get to this side. Oh, we are the second to the last bead, and the usual pass the right fishing line to the next bead. So now you're going to add the 2 beads to the right fishing line instead of the left. So now 2 beads on the right, interlock, and we've gotten this. We are doing the reduction method. So we're going to turn this over like this. So the usual 3 beads on the left, interlock the third bead, after go to the next bead, 2 beads. The reason first one is 3 beads and second one is 2 beads because for the first one we are starting a new row, so that's why we are using 3, then we are looking the third. For the second one we are continuing, so we're just going to use 2 beads to continue. I hope you understand what I meant. So you're going to keep doing this till you finish it. So you're going to do this, get to the second to the last bead, fill it up. Then when you get to the next row, you skip the first bead. Then you're going to keep doing that until it means 2. Like from this 22, it turns to 2 at the top. So until it means 2, you're going to keep doing this, and then when we're done, I'm doing that off camera. When we're done, we'll continue. We'll start with the new stage. Yeah. Okay, I have done this first stage. Now we want to do the second stage. So you turn this, get your fishing line, cut, So remember, we're still doing the reduction method, so you're going to pass the fishing line through the second bead. Ignore the first one. Pass to the one bead. So we have named it. Right fishing line, the one on my right is my right fishing line, the one on my left is my left fishing line. So you put 3 beads on the right fishing line. Interlock the third. Then go to the next bead. So let's continue. 2 beads on the top fishing line. Interlock the second. Other fishing line, go to the next bead. Again. Two beads on the top fishing line, interlock the second, other fishing line, go to the next bead. So we are going to do this till we get to the second to the last bead, then we'll continue from there. So keep doing this till you get to the second to the last bead. I'm going to do the rest off camera. We have reached the second to the last bead, and it's going to be different from what we normally do with the previous one. How is it going to be different? Simple. I'm going to do the addition method, not the reduction, and I will explain that now. You continue with 2 beads on the top fishing line, interlock the second, then pass the lower fishing line to the next bead. Then take another 2 beads, interlock the second, pass the lower fishing line to the next bead, like that. So we've done that. Now we want to do the addition method. So on this fishing line, the one on my right, you add all 3 beads, interlock the second bead, the third, I mean, interlock the third bead, interlock the third bead. So we've done that. Now we have this. If you notice, this has increased. So now we are going to continue with the addition method. How? On the left fishing line, you add 3 beads. We're starting a new line, so you add 3 beads, interlock the third bead, interlock the third, so we have this. And then now we want to increase this. We want to do the addition method again. So on the right, you take 3 beads again, add all 3 to the right, then interlock the third bead. Or instead of interlocking, the same right fishing line, you pass it through the top bead, this bead over here. You can interlock, you can pass it, because we are still going to pass the fishing lines to get here. I'll explain that now. So if you did the way I did, if you interlock the third bead, it's going to still form something. So you're going to pass both fishing line till it gets to this last two beads over here. So okay, so now the lower fishing line is going to go to the next bead like that. So we continue with two beads at the top fishing line. I'm locking it this time. So fishing line will go to the next bead. The reason I'm using top fishing line and lower fishing line is because we have changed hands. We will change hands a lot in this particular stage. So the left and right fishing line naming thing, you cannot really go with this. It can be quite confusing. So it's better if I use top and lower fishing line. So you continue this method. And remember, we are doing addition method to this side, reduction to this side. I'll tell you that. So this side is for adding. You are going to add. Then this side you are going to reduce. I've gotten to the second to the last place. So let's continue. Two beads on the top fishing line. Interlock the second. Lower fishing line will go to the next bead. Again, two beads on the top fishing line. Interlock the second bead. So we've gotten this. Now on the right fishing line, you're going to add 3 beads. Then interlock the third bead. So we have this. Now we want to start a new row. So on the left fishing line now, you take 3 beads, interlock the third bead. So we have started a new row like this. So now to continue, on the right fishing line again, you take 3 beads, but instead of interlocking, you pass that same right fishing line to the last bead here. So you pass it through this bead over here. So we have this. Now we want to move our fishing line to these 2 beads. So we've done that. Now the lower fishing line will go to the next bead. So on the top fishing line again, you take 2 beads. I'm locking the second bead instead of interlocking this time. You lock it. Then lower fishing line will go to the next bead. Then you take 2 beads again. Add both beads to the top fishing line, interlock the second bead. Lower fishing line, go to the next bead. Again, add both beads to the top fishing line. lower fishing line will go to the next bead. Interlock second bead, I mean. Lower fishing line will go to the next bead. So we're going to do this till we get to the desired length. So we're going to do this several times till we get to the desired length. If it's already forming, the bag is already forming. We put the bag like this. This is what we are aiming to achieve. So when I put the bag like this, you see that there's a space here, and then it is beads of 4 that we're counting it. So we're going to keep doing addition, subtraction, addition, subtraction. Okay, so I finished this part of the bag. This is what it will look like. And if you are to count this place, you are meant to have 25. This is the length of our bag. So when you count it, you're meant to have 25. And when you count this place, you're meant to have 15. But then it's the addition method we are going to count, not the reduction method. So now, like I said earlier, cut your fishing line. Then we are doing the reduction method here. So you ignore the first bead and go straight to the second bead. Pass your fishing line through that hole. Then you take 3 beads. So we've done that. This fishing line over here, it's our left fishing line. One of my left hand, so it's our left fishing line. So you take 3 beads, add all 3 to the left fishing line, interlock the 3rd bead, then the other fishing line will go to the next bead. So we've done that. Now let's continue. You take 2 beads, add both to the top fishing line, interlock the 2nd bead, then the lower fishing line will go to the next bead, like this. So continue again. 2 beads, interlock the 2nd bead, lower fishing line will go to the next bead. One more time. Fishing line go to the top fishing. Both beads will go to the top fishing line. Interlock the 2nd, lower fishing line go to the next bead. So I'm going to keep doing this till we get to the last. Over here. We're going to keep this till we get here. Then we'll now do the rest together. We have gotten to the second to the last bead. So to continue, we do the usual. And then remember, we're doing the reduction method. So on this side, on the right, let's give it right. You put 2 beads, then you interlock the 2nd. Interlock the 2nd. Well, since I'm doing the reduction method, I'll just pass it the same right bead to the last. Okay, so we've done that. To continue, on this fishing line over here, we take 3 beads, add all 3 to that fishing line, and then interlock the 3rd bead. We've done that. Lower fishing line will go to the next bead. We are doing this to fill in the gaps left. Fill in this side. So I do need to fill it up. So let's do that. Done that. I did the reduction method, remember? So another 2 beads. So we're going to do the reduction method the way we started the bag till we got here. We're going to do that same method till we finish, till we fill in these gaps left here. So I'll do that off camera and then we'll come back to do the next method. Okay, I have finished the body of the bag. Now we want to start with this side. So we will need a pen for this particular stage. Okay, as you can see here, there's a space here and here. So at the edges where there's no space, you are going to trace the first one, trace it here. So you are going to mark. So you do the same thing for down here to get up here. So trace it down or up. Let's mark it. And if we do that, it will be like this. That should be the size of the bag. That's how we begin the size of the bag. But I feel like it's too small, so let's increase it. So you go to you skip the first one and you start from the second square, second bead of 4. You start from here. From here, this second bead of 4. So let's trace this down. Start that over again. So this is where it is. 1 bead after the first one that we did. So the first ones we shaded. So now I'm just going to trace this down. Do the same thing here. So we have this, and this. So we have this 4. So I've already marked out the places that we're going to make the thing, the side of the bag, I mean. So we marked it out. Now it's time for us to do it. So you take your fishing line, cut the desired length of your choice. So when you're starting this piece, we are going to do the addition method for one side and then the reduction method for the other side. So the side for the addition method will be this side where there is like a space, like a gap. So to start, but then that will be like later. So to start, you are going to pass your fishing line for this first, do this bead over here, the bead before the marked area. The bead is not marked, so the unmarked bead before the marked area, Then after you pass one side of the fishing line to the unmarked bead, you are going to pass the other side to the marked bead, like this. So pull your fishing line, make it equal lengths. This is the size that we're going to use. The first marked bead and then the one that is not marked. So on the left fishing line, you take 2 beads, interlock the second bead. You have done that. So now, if you notice, this place is alone, so we're going to create a new what do you call it, a new row, and we can't pass the fishing line to this space. It's going to look somehow. So on the right fishing line, not the left this time, we are creating a new row. So you're going to take 3 beads, add all 3 beads to the right fishing line, and then interlock the third bead. This. So again, I've done that, and now we've noticed that there's another. We're starting a new line. So on the same right fishing line, you take 3 beads, then you interlock the third bead. You pull it. So we've done that. Now, this is what it looks like. So we've done that. So you just take the other fishing line, the right, then you pass it to the next bead, like this. And after you do that, that same fishing line that you used to pass to the next bead, you take 2 beads, and then you add beads, then you interlock the second bead. We've done that. Now I want to start a new line, but if we do that, it's going to come out of the marked area. So we'll just take the fishing line, and then we'll pass the fishing line to the guest to the top. So cool. And so we have this. Now we can now create a new row. This is where the addition method will come in. So on the left fishing line now, you take 3 beads, put all 3 beads, then interlock the third bead. Like that. So we'll continue again. Take 3 beads, add all 3 beads to the left fishing line, interlock the third bead. That's the right fishing line to the next bead. Then you take 2 beads, add up to the top fishing line, then interlock the second, and then pass the other fishing line to the next bead. Again, 2 beads on the top fishing line, interlock the second, the lower fishing line gets the next. So you're just going to take your fishing line and pass it till you get to this one over here. Okay, so we've done that. Now we have reached a dead end, and then it's going to be disfigured. So we have to pass the fishing line, the right fishing line, to the next 2 beads. This bead and this bead. So the lower fishing line or the right fishing line will go to the first bead. Then the second bead. So now you just take one bead and then interlock that one bead. So we've done that. Done that. Now to continue, you take the left fishing line, pass to the next bead. Then 2 beads. Add both beads to the right fishing line. Now we want to continue, so we'll pass the fishing line till it gets to this place. So I'll do that off camera. So as usual, what we did in the previous side, the lower fishing line will go to the next 2 beads, 1 and 2, and then you take one bead, so we've done that. Now we want to move the I want to get here. So now you take 3 beads, put it on the right fishing line, all 3, interlock the 3rd bead, then done that. Now to continue, this fishing line over here will go to the next bead. So the right fishing line, you take 2 beads, interlock the second one, then the left or other fishing line will go to the next bead. again. So we'll keep doing this till we reach up. Wire fishing line 2 beads, interlock the second one, let's fishing line go to the next bead. I'm going to keep doing this till I finish this side. Now we want to continue with the addition method. So take 2 beads, add it to the right fishing line, interlock the second bead, so we've done that. Now we want to start a new row. So take 3 beads, add the same right fishing line, bead, then this fishing line over here, this one that I'm pulling, we'll go to the next bead like that, and then the same fishing line that went to the next bead, this one over here, you take 2 beads and then you interlock the second bead. So now we want to move our fishing line to this top bead that is here, this bead. So you are going to move your fishing line to the top bead. So I'll do that off camera. Okay, so I've done that. Now on this fishing line over here, take 3 beads, interlock the third bead. We have done the addition method. So now I want to start a new row. So on the same bead, which is the same fishing line, which is right here, you take 3 beads, add all 3 beads and interlock the third bead. So that fishing line, go to the next bead, and you're going to pass the fishing line, that fishing line to the next bead. You're going to keep adding 2 beads to the top, then interlock the second, that fishing line will go to the next bead till we get to the second to the last bead over here. So I'm going to do that off camera. So we are at the second to the last bead, or I am at the second to the last bead. The usual 2 beads on the top fishing line, interlock the second bead, lower fishing line, go to the next bead. So we've done that. Using the addition methods that we're doing, done that. Now we'll do the usual 2 beads, but instead we're not going to interlock, but we're going to pass it to this lower bead over here, to this down bead here. So we have this. So now we're going to pass the fishing line till it reaches this place. So we've done that. Now the last fishing line, go to the next 2 beads. Bead number 1. In this case, remember why we're doing that, so that it will know this figure. So take 1 bead and then you interlock that said 1 bead. So we've done that. Now we want to continue. So top fishing line, go to the next bead or the previous bead, which is over here. Go to the previous bead. Then you take 2 beads and you interlock the second bead. So we've done that. So now let's do it one more time because we're at the dead end. So next 2 beads, you pass the lower fishing line to the next 2 beads. 1. So just take 1 bead, then you interlock that 1 bead. So we've done that. Now we want to start a new row. The usual. Take 3 beads, add it to the right fishing line this time. Then interlock the 3rd bead with your left fishing line. So we've done that. So the other fishing line, go to the next bead and then you add 2 beads. So you take 2 beads, add to the right fishing line, interlock the second bead, and then the other fishing line, go to the next bead. So you're going to keep doing this till we get to the top. Then we'll do the addition method together. So yeah. So I have reached the top bead. Now fishing line, go to the next bead. Then the usual 2 beads. The second bead. We've done that. Now paint a new line. So you take 3 beads, add it to the same bead. It's the same fishing line. Now you can add the previous beads. Done that. Lower fishing line, go to the next bead like this. So now lower fishing line, you add 2 beads to it. Then interlock. So we've done that. Now we are going to move our fishing line till it gets to the top. Till it gets over. Yes, I'm going to do that off camera. So I've done that. Now on the left fishing line, you take 3 beads. Interlock the 3rd bead because we're doing the addition process. So now we're about to start another row. So we're going to take 3 beads, but let's count this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So it means one more for us to finish the line that we marked. So let's add the 3 beads. And pass the lower fish line to the next bead. Continue. Let's put it together. So this is how far we've reached. So we are going to continue with the normal method. 2 beads, interlock the second bead, pass the other fishing line to the next bead, and the other fishing line to the next bead. So we're going to do this till we get to the second to the last piece. Then we'll do it together. Okay, remember we still have this bead, this last bead. So let's continue. Lower fishing line will go to the next bead. So now take 2 beads, and now we are going to move our bead to get to this side. So instead of us interlocking, just pass that same bead to the lower bead, that same fishing line that you added the beads to the lower one. So we've done that, and then this is what it looks like. And we are going to cover up this corner to finally finish the marked area. So as usual, lower fishing line will go to the next 2 beads, 1 and 2, because we're at the edge or at the corner. So take 1 bead, you interlock the 1 bead. So we are finished with this part. Now, because we trace it, this will look like. So we are going to move our fishing line, like we're going to pass it till we get to this bead over here, the second to the last bead. So we are going to start the reduction and then the addition here. When the addition finishes here, I'll let you know. But we're going to move our fishing lines, both of them that looks like this, to here. So I've done that. Now we are going to continue. I'm starting a new line, so 3 beads on the right fishing line. Interlock the third one. Remember, we're doing the reduction method now since we have finished the whole place. So it's going to be reduction method. Pass the left fishing line to the next bead. So the usual 2 beads to the top fishing line, interlock the second one, pass the lower fishing line to the next bead. So you're going to keep doing this till we reach the top, where we'll do the addition method. So I've reached the top. Now I want to continue the usual lower fishing line, go to the next bead. So you take another 2 beads, add it to the top fishing line, interlock the second bead like that. Now we want to start a new line. Take 3 beads, add it to the same top fishing line, interlock the second bead, the third bead I mean. Then we've done that lower fishing line, go to the next bead over here. So now on the lower fishing line, you add the 2 beads and then interlock the second bead. So we've finished that. So I'm going to pass the fishing line till it gets to this top one over here. So I'll do that off camera. So I've done that. Now on this fishing line, the left fishing line, you're going to add 3 beads and then interlock the third. So we've finished the addition method for this one, making it 8 boxes. So now we want to start a new line. So the usual 3 beads to the left, interlock the third right fishing line, go to the next bead. But before we continue, let's see if we've gotten our desired. So we have reached the second to the last bead, and you do the usual. And remember, we're doing the reduction method, so we're going to ignore the last bead on this row. And then on the new row, because you want to start a new row, you are also going to ignore the last bead. So move your fishing line to the top. Addition method, and we are done with this side of the bag. Yeah, keep doing this method still. So I'm done with the sides of the bag, and then remember these two where there is a gap should face each other. It's intentional. So this is what you have to get. So yeah, you're going to do the same thing you did here on this side. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then when we're done, come back for the rest of the body.